Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here on the old island city of Ayutthaya. We're kind of on the southern part of it, where the Chao Phraya River is over this way here, and we're in what they call the Grandmother's Park. It has another name, Somdet something. Anyway, what we're going to look at today, it's going to be a short video. We're going to take a look at Wat Ubosot, which is a monastery of the Ubosot, which is like the Ordination Hall. So anyway, this it just has the base of one of the Ordination Halls, and it has a restored Chedi, and it's kind of in a cool little area. So we'll look around, we'll see what the area looks like, and then I'll try to fly the drone because I just want to see this little Chedi by the air. So let's see what we see. This is the area. We got two guys over there doing a little bit of the spear fishing. They have those little homemade crossbows. And this is the Khlong Chakrai Yai, like the big Chakrai Canal. And it eventually goes over towards the Chao Phraya River here. There's like a water, like a dam thing over here. And it would go all the way to the Grand Palace. And you can see now there's just houses and little restaurants and stuff like that. And that away is the Grand Palace. And then there's several other temples here. This one over here is actually a Hindu temple. And then there was like Wat Chedi Yai was over there. And then this is Wat Ubosot. And then there's another temple over there, the Temple of the Changing Room, or the like the Divine Conqueror, Wat Chao Prap. And I've been to it. I went to it last week, and then it kind of reminded me I need to come over here and see this temple. So there's not a whole lot left. There's the Ubosot here that's kind of on a raised base, and it used to be surrounded by a moat, but now it's got some bridges and then the road over here. And the only other thing on the site is this is an old Chedi right here that's been completely taken over by a tree. And then this would have been the original stairs on the east side here. They haven't done much restoration at all. Basically just cleared off the brush, stacked up some new bricks on top of it, and then there's a tree growing right here in the middle. And then there would have been the Chedi over here. And the Chedi is the highlight by far of this site. So this was probably built in the middle Ayutthaya era with some late Ayutthaya styling. And you can see here, this would have been a little porch on the front. And there would have been a sloped roof if you've seen any of my videos where I show you some of these Ayutthaya era temples. This would have been like a white building with a red roof, and it would have had a sloped porch on the front. And then you can see a little bit over there, that would have been the perimeter wall back in the day. And you can see over there by the Chedi, there's how they built it up. So you would have came in, and then this would have been the octagonal columns right here. So it looks like there's what, 12 of them, and that would have supported the roof. Some of these halls, the walls were wide enough, the walls would have been load bearing, and these look like they would have been wide enough to be load bearing, but they had the support columns inside. Yeah, I like to see how they did these. You can see how they would have built the column. They would have shaped the bricks, carved them down, and got them to fit into the octagon. So you see the little bit right there. And those would have went up, and then they would have had a flower up on the top, and that would have been what joined the ceiling. So there would have been several little Buddha images here, the smaller ones that they would have used for the ceremonies, and then the principal one back there. And you can see the Thais still come over here and they leave like the water and stuff like that for the spirits, and they will pray and everything else. And this is kind of cool. So this would have had the indented corners on the pedestal also. And then there would have been a walkway around the outside. And there would have probably been some pillars out there, but there's not any evidence of them. That would have supported the little awning on the outside. So these were the back columns. And then you would have came out the back, and there would have been an image probably right here also, like a standing Buddha or something. And then this would have been the Chedi. And there was a couple of little smaller Chedis and other stuff, it looks like a really tiny one right there and some other bases. And then these over here would have been octagon, which would have been late Ayutthaya. And then these has the indented corners. Really nice. So we can get a nice look here. So this is all the stuff that was out in between the Ubosot and the Chedi. And then you can see the base right here. There's 3 little tiers, 1, 2, 3. And there's also 3 corners, the redented corners. And what that symbolizes is that's the hell, the earth and the heaven, the 3 different realms, and that's the 3 realms in Buddhism. And you can see there's a couple little holes and stuff like that. So people probably came over here, looters after the fall of the city, and they probably drilled into this Chedi to try to find any valuables and stuff like that. And then you can see how this was built up. And then that is the old moat. And over there, that's that Wat Chao Prap. That's the changing room, and over there was the tin warehouse. And you can see over here, this is the bridge that goes across the little klongs and stuff out here. It's kind of falling apart. It's Thai style. And you can see the steps that goes up. So this would have probably had a rail on it like this, and then you could have went up to the base of the Chedi. Let's climb up here and see what this is about. You can see the plaster work and stuff like that right here. And that would have been the rail. And then they just use these thin little bricks. That's a common style. Some of them have the bigger ones where they're quite a bit thicker. These are those just real thin ones. It looks like the steps are kind of separating a little bit. And I can see why a tree was growing in there. They cut it back, but you can still see the roots. And then there's the base of the Chedi, and then the little canal and stuff. Yeah, so you can walk around up here. This is cool. And just look at the thickness of that plaster. And then you can see how this was built. There's some trees growing up there. I really like the style of this Chedi. This would have been a late Ayutthaya style. Yeah, really cool. And then they have all these course of bricks here, and then they carved it. Oh, this is fantastic. And if you're up here, there is no guardrail. So if you fall, then you shouldn't have been up here. And you can see the remains of the moat. Yeah, really nice. And the trees taken over here. Yeah, here it's got the hole, so it might have, you can see the plaster work here. Yeah, it would have been fantastic. And then this is looking back over towards that Ubosot, and then the wall, and another little octagonal Chedi here. Yeah, there's a hole there, and a hole there, and a hole up there with all that plaster work. Yeah, the Chedi is in great shape. And then you can see the Chedi over there. And then just past it is the Chao Phraya River. And looking back down, so you can see the remains of the little rails and stuff. It's kind of cool how they built this Chedi. They curved the bottom like that, and then they built it up, and it would have been an octagon. All that's left is just the core of it, and another one that would have been over there to give it balance. And you can see the plaster work there, and the holes, and the whole Chedi. It's missing just the top of the finale, but it's in really, really nice shape. Now this temple here, there's not a whole lot to see. This is one of those that if you're over here in this area, especially if you're exploring kind of the grandmother's park, a lot of people pedal their bikes around through here. So if you're over here by it, I would say stop. If you're making a special trip over here for it, don't. You gotta be somebody like me. I got a motorcycle. I just come over here and check places like this out. I like being out here by myself, and you get to see stuff like this. How cool is all of that? Yeah, if you could imagine, the whole Chedi would have been whitewashed like that. It would have been spectacular. And then it would have had the white temple building here. And I don't know where the Wehan was at. This is just the Ubosot. And usually there was the Wehan and the Ubosot. And then the monk quarters would have been off to the south. This is facing to the north. So I don't know exactly where they were at. There would have been some wooden buildings maybe over this away right before that moat. that'll finish up our video over here at this Wat Ubosot. This is a simple little building. It's just the Chedi with the Ubosot that's basically down to the base. It's cool enough. It's one of those that if you're over here, stop and take a look at it, but if not, then don't worry about it. You get to see it here on video. I'll try to break out my drone and fly it over here now and try to avoid crashing it into some of these trees. So anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, stick around. And if you know anything about this temple that I don't know, leave me a comment down below. If you know when it was built, I don't know when it was built or who built it. All those records were destroyed when the city fell. But if you know more information, definitely tell me. And if you want me to show you something else, let me know also. I'm always looking for something else to do. Just leave me a comment down below. And until next time, from over here in Ayutthaya at Wat Ubosot, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.